Alright, this is part 4 and hopefully the final part. What we have at this point is we have filtered, or we've set this up to be filtered because we selected, again, everything that we wanted to. And I'm going to do it one more time. You can either start at the top left and hold shift and just press the arrow buttons until you have everything that you want selected, or you can just click the top left, hold shift, and go down and click the bottom right. And again, the way we got these little arrows at the top, this is filter. You go to sort and filter and click filter, or you can hold control and shift and L at the same time and you'll get it. Now, average is what we want to filter because we want to see the highest students and separate them from the middle and the lowest so that we can really identify the kids that need the most extra support and those students that are on the bubble of passing this EOC. Again, it's very, very important to keep in mind that the EOC is proficiency based, and so we got to make sure we know which students need that extra push. You saw here that that the cells couldn't be merged, they weren't identical sizes. This is why we want to delete everything that's not necessary. So I'm going to go and find what it was, and I'll share it with you. I found the issue. It was the average score, so I'm just going to press back. That's not working. Yeah, the average score right here, that for some reason wasn't allowed in the filter. And so what I did was I deleted that, and now this allowed me to filter my students from largest to smallest. And you can see now 64, 60, 57, 55. We have the top performing student at the top and the students that are not performing as well at the bottom. So this gives us a perfect opportunity to differentiate by average score. Something I'm going to do here because I don't want to keep going left and right to see who's who. I'm going to select this first column and I'm going to go up to View, Freeze Panes, and freeze the first column, and this way I can see my students' names and also see the average score at the same time. Now, the idea in data-driven grouping is to try to think about, in small group, how many students can you really effectively reach in a small group setting, and we're going to identify kind of different groups that will hopefully allow us to do that when we get into that. So I see we've got 64% all the way down to maybe 51. Let's draw the line right here. Now I do this because it's about 1/3 of the class, and these students are all performing above 50%, which means they have a really, really good shot to pass this EOC. So going back up to home here, I'm just going to make them green. Green to me means looking good. We're going to go down and I'm going to select from 50% to maybe 40%. Yeah, actually I'm going to go 44%. And I'm going to make these students orange. Orange is kind of hazardous here. 44% is still looking pretty good for the EOC, but they are going to need a serious push. These are students who can fall at this point. They're going to be on one side of the proficiency or the other. We got to give them the exact intervention they need to make sure that they get on the right side of it. The last group down here is going to be 40% or below, and so we're going to put them in yellow. These are students that are going to need some very, very intensive intervention if we want any shot of them passing this EOC. And so the teacher needs to use discretion to think about how it is that we're going to be able to get these students to that point and what the real barriers are that are keeping them at or below 40%. What I would do here is double click on this sheet name at the bottom. I'm going to name this period 1. And I'm going to do this exact process for the rest of my classes. And once I have all of them together, we're going to be able to identify which are the weakest benchmarks, and we'll come back to that in the final session, the last one coming up.